Here's Navarro on the run. Navarro's going to keep it. Navarro for 6. Touchdown, Bobcats.
I can feel I had a hard time staying in my own lane.
Oh, my goodness.
Red Murdoch, pick 6. Harvath inside the 30, the 20. Blake Harvath will score.
And Mendoza takes a big hit. He never saw it coming. Trey White got in there.
There's his man, Rucker. And nobody's going to catch him. Goodbye.
Intercepted. Tyree Skipper. Touchdown.
Telly again, why not? A step forward and make it 2 for Telly.
Quarterback keeper showing off the speed. Steps on the gas. Untouched.
The G5 Hive. All G5 all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive, where we bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Justice. No Luke tonight, so I'm joined by a special guest, Mr. Andrew Katz from Burning the Red Shirt. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching on X, please give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review. All right, let's move over to Week 7 in the Sun Belt. We have the Thursday night game. You got Southern Miss versus Georgia Southern, and this was a game of runs, if you will. Southern Miss was up 28-7 at half, up by 21 points. They seemed to kind of be cruising in the game, and then you get to the fourth quarter, and things really got interesting. I almost wonder if Charles Huff had flashbacks to Marshall's game against Georgia Southern last season. Georgia Southern Miss is up 38-21. Fumbles it on their own 25. Georgia Southern cashes in a touchdown on their drive. Southern Miss then has 3 and out for 2 yards. Georgia Southern scores again to bring it within 10 with just over 2 minutes to go. I want to say there was 2.5 minutes left. They go for the onside kick. Southern Miss recovers it, but the Georgia Southern guy, the Southern Miss guy that recovers the onside kicks, laying there, and a Georgia Southern player just absolutely drills them. And so then they're already getting the ball at the 50-yard line because you did an onside kick. And now you give them a 15-yard penalty, and from that point, the game was over at that point. They were already in field goal range. They never kicked it. They just basically ran out the clock. In some respects, it feels like Southern Miss was kind of lucky to get the win. This kind of seems like an MO for Huff teams, right? Where they get up big, and then I don't know if they just lose interest, lose focus. And then they let teams back in. Happened last year at Marshall against Georgia Southern. Clay Helton. Helton. Not Clay. Is it Clay? Is Clay the one? Clay at Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
What do you think his seat's pretty warm?
I think probably gets another year. The biggest thing that where things have started to go downhill is I think when they lost Brian Ellis to Alabama. That dude had the offense absolutely cooking. You watch, I was super invested in Georgia Southern the last year or two that he was there, and just watching his game plans play out. That dude can drop some plays. That guy can do some cool shit. He is an awesome OC, and now he's just rotting away as a tight end coach at Alabama, cooking up 20 yards a game for Josh Cuevas or whatever. But I would love to see him get another OC gig, because that, just from a pure creativity and game planning perspective, that dude is awesome. So I think I think Ryan Applin was cool when he was at Arkansas State, but I don't know how good of a job he's doing now. I feel like they are trending in the direction of a Middle Tennessee State, where it's okay, we chuck it around, but what are we actually doing here? It's just that there's no sequencing, there's no continuity. It just doesn't feel like there's a true game plan in place. And I think that is the biggest difference this year and last year too versus previous years, and like that's what I don't know. He probably gets another year, but I think he needs to find another coordinator that can like really make it work on offense.
It feels like they're also missing Josh Dallas, right? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Camden
another.
Brown is awesome though.
Yeah, I mean, like that is their offense, right? How many times can we throw it to Camden Brown?
Yeah,
But it does seem like they're missing Josh Dallas. But another disappointing year for Georgia Southern. I don't know. Helton always just kind of feels like to me like the guy that most years is going to get you 7 to 8 wins, but he's never going to win. The Sun Belt East, never get you to a championship game. I mean, to a lesser degree, kind of feels like James Franklin at Penn State, right? Like he's good, he's good, but he's not quite good enough. So yeah, I don't know. Like I know, like I thought the fans wanted him gone after last year, and they're going to have a worse record this year. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know what his buyout looks like. So maybe you're right. Maybe he does get another year. We'll see. All right. Louisiana against JMU. JMU gets the win here, 24-14. In the first quarter, Louisiana had 2 possessions. They had 2 3-and-outs. JMU brought in Sluka on a 3rd down. He ran it, set up a 4th and 2 inside the Louisiana 11. Should have been the end of the quarter. They didn't run it out. They ran a play really quick. And he came up short. They did not convert there. JMU seemed to move the ball well, and it feels like this kind of been their MO. Like they're not able. They move the ball, but they're not able to actually score points. Second quarter, you had a big quarterback run on 3rd down for 1st and goal with 5 seconds left in the first half. Louisiana went for it with 0 timeouts, up 7. 4 seconds left. They got stuffed. They asked Coach Dez about it on his way to the locker room on the 4th down call, and he said, "We came here to win." That's why they went for it. Louisiana was up 14-7 at the half, and then after that, I mean, kind of seems like JMU's MO. They get things going in the second half. We saw it again the week before against Georgia State, where they were down 7-0, scored those 2 touchdowns to win the game. Third quarter, the opening play is a 62-yard touchdown pass. JMU ties it up at 14. And then, like I said, JMU played really well in the second half. They only allowed 21 yards total prior to the Raging Cajuns' last possession with 2:58 left in the game when they were down by 10. Yeah, I mean, the defense has played really well for JMU. Having said that, much like when you talked about the Louisiana Tech defense, I don't think they've really played anyone with a great offense, right? I mean, I guess maybe you could say the best offense they played was Louisville. And I don't think that's a great offense. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I think the defense is good. I don't think they're quite as good as the stats would lead you to believe. And then the offense, like, it's at what point it just feels like at some point that's going to catch up to them, right? Where they play so poorly, particularly in the first half, and then they're able to, get things together, make adjustments, whatever, in the second half, and come back and win these games. But it feels like at some point that's going to catch up to them, right? Where they're like down 28-0 or 24-0 or something along those lines, and it's going to be too big of a deficit to overcome in the second half. That's kind of the way it feels to me. I hope it happens this week. We'll get to the game this week in a minute, but I'm hoping that this is the week where they get so far down early that they're unable to come back. We have JMU ranked in our top 5. I think the defense is certainly capable of that. I don't know. This offense does not. It's I just don't know what's going on between the first half and the second half. Is the game plan so bad in the first half, and then they're able to make adjustments? I'm just really not sure what's going on, but like I feel that just kind of feels like a common theme for JMU so far this season. All right, App State at Georgia State. App State gets the win, 41-20. They started slow as they had 4 of their 7 first half possessions were 3 and outs for App State. Those other 3 possessions resulted in 17 points, so they were up 17-0 at the half. The game was really never in question as App State kind of cruised. J.J. Cole, like I said, got the start. He looked good in this game. Freshman running back Ja'Cory Lewis continues to impress in this offense. Look for the Mountaineers to, kind of keep rolling. They seem they have a good offensive game plan regardless of who is at quarterback. Some of the games early, the Southern Miss game in particular, like if they didn't have those turnovers, they probably beat Southern Miss. Be interesting to see. Like my assumption is J.J. Cole's they're gonna roll with him until it stops working. Because they saw what Swan could do, and while Swan was effective and able to move the ball, I think the turnovers is kind of what's causing him to kind of take the back seat to J.J. Cole. Georgia State, not good. Del McGee, good recruiter. It's not really getting it done on the coaching front. He's only been there. This is year 2. It feels like they would at least give him another year. Probably the thing that sticks out to me the most is like the lines. Like it feels like Dell can recruit the skill positions, right? But the offensive line leaves a lot to be desired. That was a problem last year. It's a problem again this year. I think they thought they had it. I think they had planned for it to not, I guess, in my opinion, maybe to not be so great by going out and getting Cam Brown and PJ Hatter, two kind of dual threat guys. But it's just, I don't know. It's not working there. They don't have a lot of fan support. At some point, like you got to produce wins. I don't know. Like, you have any feel, Cats on Del McGee there at Georgia State?
I had some optimism coming to the year. It, in some ways, it feels like it's translating a little bit. The passing offense does feel like it's exceeded my expectations. Like, I thought there was potential for a total dumpster fire on the passing front. Anytime I see coaches doing this stuff where like there's 5 plus running backs getting 4+ carries, it just like I just shake my head in disgust, and like it just sends off signals to me like there's like you don't know you don't know what you're doing. There's like no conviction here, especially like there's talented people in that room. Like just because they're all talented doesn't mean we need to give them all carries. Be a leader, be a decision maker, and like let's actually give the best player 15 plus touches. So that gives me some skepticism. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's translating to W's. I'm not totally out. Like there's on the recruiting front, and then some of the stuff in games like there's been some reason for optimism. I'd be willing to like say like let's go at least one more year. But yeah, I was hoping like to see some more W's this year.
All right, ODU, Marshall. Marshall gets the win, 48-24. Turnovers, the name of the game for the Monarchs. They had 5 turnovers, 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions. It was ugly, man. It was ugly. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, man, like that dude's a baller. I was impressed by him. I don't know, like ODU just couldn't get out of their own way. I don't know, like I hate to sound cynical, but I feel like sometimes as an ODU fan, like like this is kind of what you come to expect, right? Like things are going well, looking really good. You'd think we turn the corner, and then we have a game like this. It seems to happen at least once a year, where like you just can't explain it. And maybe there were signs this year, right? I mean, the Liberty game, we had quite a few turnovers. I passed many of those off due to the weather. I mean, it was downpouring most of that game. And we got the win, but like it was ugly. Liberty is pretty bad. Marshall is a better team than their record would indicate. They started off rough, but man, the last couple games, with Carlos Del Rio Wilson at quarterback, they've really turned things around, and they're going to be a tough team moving forward in the rest of the Sun Belt.
I, as a Retrada, huge Retrod fan, right? I mean, I was very interested in the offseason with Rod Smith as the OC. The vibes I was getting is like, this probably isn't happening this year.
Yep.
It's now happening, and I have pretty much no fantasy connection to it, so I'm like kind of annoyed by it. And also I bet against them on win total, and now they're winning games. So like in no way am I getting paid off by one of my favorite offensive systems showing out, but it's fun to see. Just like that, seeing that, okay, we don't actually have to wait till a year or two to actually see this start to play out in practice.
You could have been like me. You could have owned Carlos Del Rio Wilson in many leagues to start the year, and then after the first two games, you were so frustrated you dropped them. That's what that's what I did, and
no.
That's yeah. Anyway, all right. This game, not much to say. Louisiana Monroe at Coastal Carolina. It was ugly for UL Monroe. Coastal gets the win 23-8. I believe UL Monroe had 20 yards total in the first half.
No.
Coastal was up 16-0. I don't know. Not two bad teams. There's no. I mean, I got to see Coastal play a week ago at Old Dominion. Not good. UL Monroe again, not good. So one dimensional. It's basically, and they don't have Ahmad Hardy this year. So yeah, it's ugly game. I don't want to waste any more time talking about it. Exciting game. Maybe the game of the week in the Sun Belt, probably, from an excitement standpoint. Troy at Texas State. Troy wins the game 48-41 in overtime. Look at the second half. Troy is down 31-17. Their opening drive in the second half is a touchdown to cut the lead 24-31. They do an onside kick. They recover the onside kick. That ends in a field goal. Now they're down 31-27. You go to the fourth. They're kind of trading points back and forth. The Trojans are down 41-33 with just under 4 minutes to go. 4th and 6 for Troy with the game on the line. Incomplete pass, but there was a pass interference, that first down for Troy. That ended in a touchdown pass from Kilcrease to DJ Epps with 1:13 left, and then they tied the game after a successful 2-point conversion. 2 big passes set up Texas State with a chance to win the game, 42-yard field goal, but their kicker missed it, so it went to overtime. Troy got the ball first, scored. Texas State does not. Troy wins. We talked about this one earlier. Classic GJ Kinney game where he should win, and he just kind of craps the bed. That's 2 weeks in a row now where it's kind of happened. All right, let's move on to Week 8 in the Sun Belt. You got Arkansas State at South Alabama on tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. South Alabama favored by 7.5, over under 59.5. That seems like a big spread for two teams that, like, I don't think we really know like what to expect from either of them, right? South Alabama has been playing well. Arkansas State coming off it's a bye this week, but they got the big win against Texas State in week 6. Maybe Jalen Rayner and Corey Rucker will get that connection going again here. If I'm going to bet, I'm going to take Arkansas State in the points. I don't know. South Alabama has been a disappointment, I think.
They have been. I don't think that I'd want to back Arkansas State though. Yes, there's been some bad results for South, but I still have a decent amount of confidence, I think, in the structure of the team, coaching staff, just from a stability perspective and floor perspective. I would rather back them in this game.
All right. We got Troy at UL Monroe, 3 p.m. Troy favored by 5.5, over under 46.5. I mean, that seems crazy after what we saw the performance of Louisiana Monroe at Coastal, right? 20 points or 20 yards total and a half against a Troy team that's hot, playing really well. Give me Troy laying the points. That spread makes 0 sense to me. All right, let's move over to what potentially could be the game of the week. Huge game for the Sun Belt East. Old Dominion at James Madison. James Madison favored by 1.5, over under 46.5. This is a big game. I mean, it's a big game for both teams. Whoever wins this game, I feel like, has the inside track to win the Sun Belt East, inside track to host the Sun Belt Championship game. It feels like if ODU loses this game, it could be the start of a downslide, right? You lost the game at Marshall, you lose at JMU, and then you got App State, who's playing well the following week. Like, before you could wake up and be like, oh, we lost 3 in a row. You win this game and you're thinking, okay, well, we can still we might be the favorite now to win the Sun Belt East. So it's for Old Dominion, it's a critical game. For the JMU, I mean, for both teams really. I feel like ODU wins this game, but they can't turn the ball over 3-5 times like they've done in some games. You just can't do it. I mean, and they've done it in different ways. Like, it's been interceptions, it's been fumbles by Colton Joseph, fumbles by the running backs. This past week it was special teams and fumbling punts. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping Old Dominion can get things turned around. I think if they don't have the turnovers, I think they win this game and they win by more than 1.5 based on what we've seen from JMU to this point in their offense. Hopefully the Marshall game will serve as a wake-up call. But again, like I said, if they lose, I can see a potential 3-game skid for the Monarchs when they come back and at home against home, come back to home and play against App State if they lose this game against JMU.
Yeah, I would assume Alonzo Barnett's body is still in the healing phase, and the dude is not physically probably he's medically cleared or whatever, but he's a shell of himself relative to last season. I think we're seeing that play out on the field this year. If basically what you said, if ODU can do fun things on offense, not shoot themselves in the foot, they should win this game.
We got Coastal at App State. App State favored by 10.5, over under 50.5. Two teams going different directions. Coastal got the win this past week, but they're not a good football team. I think App State's going to crush them. So give me App State laying the points. 50.5. I don't know. I think App State can probably score in the high 30s. I don't know that Coastal can score even 2 touchdowns in this game. Texas State at Marshall, 3:30 p.m. Texas State favored by 2.5, over under 64.5. I think it's going to be a good game. Marshall's playing really well. Texas State finds ways to give it away. We've seen it 2 weeks in a row now. Could be a third week in a row. I think Marshall at home is always tough, and that team, like I said, they are better than their record indicates. Man, like I don't know, like Texas State, like if they want to have any hope, I think the hope is very dim in terms of winning the Sun Belt West. But I think they have to win this game, right? Like they lose this game, they're done. And then if Marshall wins, maybe they're a dark horse to win the East. I don't know. What do you think?
The Sun Belt Conference Championship puzzle is so fun to try and solve because of the divisions.
Yeah.
Or up to a week ago, I was like, I have this shit locked up. I have a JMU. I have a little bit of like JMU plus 420 from before the season. I have some ODU plus 900. I have Southern Miss at 40-1, and I thought I had one. I forget who was the fourth team who was in consideration. Oh, Texas State. I took some 6-1. I'm like, it's those four teams, and now it feels like anything could happen. Southern Miss still feels like they're in amazing shape. Like is it the West that they're in? It's just like kind of a train wreck, and it's like, dude, just don't do anything stupid, and we can do this. We can get to the championship game, and then I can hedge or some shit. The East, it's definitely like very.
I think the East, in my opinion, the East is going to be decided this week between Old Dominion and JMU. The winner of that game, I think, wins the East.
Likely, but also I could see either of those teams dropping 2+ games over the course of the season. Like JMU, they've tried so hard to lose the last 2 weeks against Louisiana and Georgia State. And then ODU, I mean, how confident can we be after the Marshall game?
That they don't shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some money. The two teams I bet on, obviously Old Dominion and Southern Miss. So that's what I would like to see. And I thought it was looking good up until that Marshall game, but
right.
We'll see. All right, moving along. Saturday night, 5 p.m. We got Southern Miss at Louisiana. Southern Miss favored by 4.5. Over under 54.5. I like Southern Miss in the game. I mean, I think Lunch Winfield is fun, right? Getting Zylan Perry, I think it will help. I just think, Southern Miss with Braylon Braxton, Jeff Pittman, I just think they're the better team. I think they have the better talent on offense and defense. I think Southern Miss will win this game. I like the Golden Eagles laying the 4.5 against the Raging Cajuns, even though the game is in Lafayette. Final game of the week in the Sun Belt, you got the rivalry game. You got Georgia State at Georgia Southern. The spread, Georgia Southern by 6.5, over under 61.5. Do you think these teams can score combined 61.5 points? I don't think so. I don't know.
It's so funny how I don't know why. Funny, maybe not the operative word, but those schools, dude, they fucking hate each other, and it is as an observer, as a bystander, like watching those two fan bases go at it is always enjoyable.
Yeah, and it is a rivalry game, so you just never really know what's going to happen. But like, I don't know, that seems like a high total for both of these teams, who haven't really. Neither of them have played really well at all this season. I like Georgia Southern to win the game. If I had to bet something this game, I think I would take the under. Just tell the folks before we go. Tell the folks where they can find you. You said a BTR is coming out soon, so
yeah. So Zach released our newest episode of Burning the Red Shirt podcast on YouTube, which came out tonight. It'll hit Spotify and all that audio stuff tomorrow. I'm technically on Twitter, although I'm not super active on Twitter. You can find me at Andrew P. Katz. That being said, like, I am always extremely interested in talking ball right? Whether it be via or from like a fantasy angle, pure college football angle, or most interestingly, like a prop betting angle. If you're like, so I definitely have created a sort of reputation for myself incidentally where I don't want to like with that reputation being that like I don't want to talk edges, don't want to share, etc. Like want all like the stuff for myself. I am working not as hard as I could be, but trying to like refine that perception a little bit. I am super interested in talking to everyone, but like I don't what I'm just not super interested in doing is just like blasting out edges to on like social media and stuff like, but like dude, if like let's talk on Discord, let's text, whatever, like let's work together to try and win lots of money, but like in a more personal setting, if you catch my drift.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Andrew. Hopefully we'll have you again before the end of the season. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. On X, give us a follow. If you're listening on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star rating reviews. We're so thankful for each and every one of you for all your support throughout this year. Be sure to join us next week as we discuss what happened in Week 8. Look forward to what's kind of coming up in Week 9. And as always, bring you up to date on all the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.